So I'm standing outside about 6 a.m. this morning. I chip away on my manuscript this early in the morning. And I started thinking about my girls, you know, and what I'm going to do about that. I step outside and light up a smoke, and when I turn around, I see this guy. Look how big that son of a bitch is. Walking away from my house and along the back of my yard. I drew my pistol, walked right up to it. He goes to climb up the tree. He's right eye level with me. I Pulp Fictioned his ass right off that tree. Followed up with a few more. And as I said before, when I catch the son of a bitch that did this to my girls, I'm going to make a hat out of it and make a video on YouTube. All right. I have a container here I have to set off to the side. I don't have a setup for this type of work, guys, so you're going to have to be a little patient. Now, I'm only wearing gloves because though they say that a possum is highly resistant to rabies, it's not unlikely, but I'm not worried about that. What I'm thinking about is what they call leptospirosis. It's a big motherfucker. She's stiff too. On pardon my language. I found out that this is a girl, so I have to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, come on. Man, I am so sorry. I did not know, but you know what? Come on. Man, this is horrible. This is what makes me feel kind of bad, but not at the same time. You know what I mean? This would be more problems later on. Come on, let go. Oh, boy, you did not want to let go. Ugh. See, so leptospirosis is a bacterial infection. Come on. That can spread through the shedding of urine and I believe also feces. So when you got animals out there like chickens picking and scratching and out there scuffing their feet on the pavement, you know, open himself up to the possibility of bumblefoot. Damn, they just keep on coming. Come on. Leptospirosis displays itself as what they describe as severe flu-like symptoms. Bumblefoot is bad enough. You don't need any extra risk. Come on. Dang. All right. Now, I'm not going to be using these scissors. I've been doing a little YouTubing. I'm not set up for this. But what we're going to do is turn this girl around. Now, they say what you want to do is you want to cut them around the ankle. All right. There we go. Do it on the other side. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, this is a little bit graphic. I told you I was going to catch this son of a bitch. Is there another one in there? Man, I'm one of those, I believe in live and let live. I let these guys go. I've seen smaller ones over in the neighbor's yard. But when you look at my video of my little mouse laying there, she was flat. Something heavy was laying on top of her. Now this thing weighs about 7 pounds. Oh, God. Let me get this doggone thing out of there. How deep does this thing go? Come on. God dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeesh. Now dogs over there are like, what? So, gotta cut it around the tail. See, leptospirosis is also transmittable to dogs and humans. So, you know, I'm not saying that this one had a disease. Is it still moving? No, I think I got everything. I'm sorry for the angle, but I told you guys, if I catch what got my girls, I was going to make this video. I just happened to come outside this morning about 6 o'clock and lit up a smoke, and sure enough, I see this thing lumbering away from my house along the back fence line. And I come outside, and there it was. This has to be it, man. This is the biggest one I've seen in this area. My wife is ticked. She says, that was wrong. I said, well, what was wrong was an animal that'll come in and just tear your birds apart and not eat anything. Just destroy and leave. I mean, that's not survival. That's almost like a demented, that's just messed up. So I feel nothing about these babies. I mean, all babies are adorable. I feel really bad about that, but you know, Pearl was almost 6 years old. She was a good girl too. Any of you guys ever play Red Dead Redemption 2? Boy, were they full of crap. I wish it was that easy. Just yank them off like you're ripping a Band-Aid off, you know? They got a lot of fat on them. Just got to get it to a point to where it wants to just kind of roll a little bit. Oh, happy day. This little bitch tortured my babies, and I put her out as quick as I could. I mean, I don't know what it is about these things. They squirm a lot, even if you shoot them like right in the head. So there we go. So we're just going to kind of roll it over. This is the pouch that I'm cutting through right now. So, can you see that? See, you guys should have went over and ravaged the neighbor's garden or something instead of coming by, starting your crap, because then I had to make everything uncomfortable. I know she was checking that window. You messed up, didn't you? Sorry about your family. You certainly didn't show much consideration for mine. can't believe people eat this. You know, when I was up north, there was somebody hitting the road. I felt horrible. I was in the city in a cathedral neighborhood, and this thing was just standing in the street, and it looked stunned. Well, I felt horrible. I mean, I knew I had hens, and I'm like, I should not be bringing this thing home, but I had to do something. We keep a carrier in the vehicle usually, but this time, oh, actually it was in the trunk. So I put it in and I took it home, and I went and got my 22. Now, a 22 is not a loud pistol, really. But when you live in the suburbs and you're not supposed to be firing any guns within the city limits, they're loud as hell. I went out there, I was working in the backyard at the time anyway, doing some sheet metal work, so I drugged this thing. I mean, it was just laying there. I just dumped it out and it looked like it was dead. So I just took it by the tail, and as I was dragging it over behind some corn, which if you watch some of my earlier videos, you'll see my my corn that I was growing up in Illinois. I drug them up the side of that corn between that little patch and the neighbor's fence, and I dropped a cap right in its head. Oh my God! So this thing flips. I was surprised that that the impact from the 22 had that kind of effect. And this thing started flailing, and I'm thinking, oh my God. I mean, I felt horrible. I was trying to help put the damn thing out of its misery, and it seemed like no matter what I did, this thing would not die. So I'm like, all right, I can't watch this. So I went inside, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait for nature to run its course and come back out and just throw it in my little burning pile. Well, I came out an hour later, and this thing was laying still. So I go ahead and I grab a garbage bag, and I go to put it in the bag. It starts flailing again. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I went ahead and I just pulled the damn thing into the bag and just left it sitting there and went back in the house and came back out another half hour later. Well, it had crawled halfway out of the bag, and it was just like, ugh, in one of those positions. So I'm like, finally. So I dragged this thing around, and I go to put it in a fire pit, and it started moving again. I felt horrible. Now I feel like Anthony Fauci. You know what I mean? Well, he's not trying to help anybody but his own bank account. But I mean, the point was, you know, this thing just would not die. So my only other solution, I had some rubble underneath the front porch. There's a big chunk of cement. So I took it back there, I laid it out, and my chickens were all lined up. I had them in the pen at the time with the door closed. I did not want them around this thing while I was doing this. But they watched the whole thing go down. Anyway, I took this thing, and I just tried to smash its head in just to put it out really quick. Well, the head doesn't explode like you think it would. It's just kind of like a grapefruit. All I did was, again, make it worse. Now this thing's like retarded and wheezing, and you can hear its voice rattling when it's breathing, and I'm thinking, for Christ's sake, can we just put this damn thing out of its misery? I tried to help it, and look what happened. Now it's going to ruin my day. So I went all Somalian on this damn thing. And I just got down on my knees with this brick, and I just started pummeling it. Oh my God, I was just, my adrenaline, I was just numb. Anyway, it finally died. About 20 minutes after that, it was the horror. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. Okay, okay. So we're at the ears. Oh yeah. I believe it's a sin for a person to kill what they don't eat. But in this case, I mean, imagine if the grid went down or the economy collapsed or some major event happened where I wasn't able to go to the grocery stores. I mean, this thing could have killed my family just by cutting off our food supply. Their trapping and skinning is something that always interested me. I may still make a hat out of it, I'm not gonna, but I'm not eating this damn thing. Yeah, so when I eventually got around to burning that possum that finally, after forever, crossed that bridge, that rainbow bridge. I don't like to use that expression anymore. The whole meaning's been kind of ruined, if you get my drift. But it stank while it burned. It was the worst smelling thing. I couldn't imagine having an aroma like that. I mean, chicken smells like chicken. My dad's from East Tennessee. He used to talk about eating these things when he was little, but after leaving Tennessee and settling up north in Chicago when jobs were good, he just kind of fell away from those times because I don't really know very many people that eat stuff like this anymore out of like, you know what I got a taste for tonight? Pizza bites? No, possum.
Okay.
All right, guys, sorry about that. I finally got this thing separated. There we go. Where's the other ear? There we go. Boom.